Hey, my friends. So, welcome to your monthly newsletter from me. And these are just going to be short tips and tricks and hacks and those kinds of things for getting the most out of your Facebook ads. And so, you may or may not know this, but I used to have a podcast called Facebook Ads with the Twang. It used to be the number one podcast it used to be the number one Facebook ads podcast for several years. And then I just kind of got tired of it, so I quit doing it. And that podcast was only 10 minutes at a time. So on this, I want to make it even shorter than that. I want to try to do it in 5, 6 minutes tops. So you're not spending all day with this. Also, you should have gotten a download or a PDF or something like that, if you'd rather read instead of listen to me drone on and on, which I know I would. So, issue number one, what are we going to be talking about today? We're going to talk about shiny ad syndrome because I see this a lot. And what is SAS or shiny ad syndrome? It's really simply just a new technique that people are talking about and hyping up and that kind of thing. And that's how you spot it, right? It's the promise of lower costs, promise of more conversions, promise of higher profits, yada, yada, yada. Well, question is how do you know if it works? And the truth is you don't unless you try it. So the people who are always going to come to you with these things, and it's not that it's bad, it could be great. But the people who are going to come to you are saying, hey, it works great here or here or here, but you haven't done it for you yet. Okay. And often these things don't work like that. They're often not plug and play for most people. Okay. Most of what happens, converting people from, your group or anywhere else has to do with how you interact with them and your offer. Okay. So the likelihood of it converting better than what you have going on right now is small. Okay, so that's the thing. It's not going to yield you a better client necessarily, or the targeting isn't different. You're still going to be in front of the same people. It's just a matter of how you input the ads. So hopefully that makes sense. So how do you do it? Well, you either have to shift budget to try it, or you have to add more budget to try it. And so the problem is that now you have a testing period of doing that for the next 30 to 90 days, right? You're trying to, or more, right? Depending on how long it takes people to convert. And the other thing is it's really hard to test these things if your budget is less than $1,000 a month, meaning, you know, if you took half of it, say 500, let's say you had $1,000 and you took half of it and you tried this new thing and half of it you tried this old thing, then it's going to take you, 2, 4, 6 months just to try to figure out how well it's actually working compared to what's already going on. So we've already got you covered on this, just so you know how we handle it. Well, and I'll tell you what this means in just a minute. And I'm not big on certifications and all this other stuff. I mean, if somebody can get the job done, that's all I really care about. Nevertheless, myself and Michelle, we're both ad skills certified, and that may not mean anything to you, and that's totally fine. It doesn't need to. But what it is it's the largest community of media buyers out there. So other Facebook ad experts, YouTube ad experts like us as well, agencies and so forth. And it's a huge group of it's almost 1,000 people where we talk about all these strategies and all these other things about what's working. And we get into the numbers and we do all this stuff so we really know about what's working in what areas, because what's working in the e-com is not going to work for us here, right? There's two different things, and a lot of times people try to take those things and transpose them over. So we're ad skills certified, we're in that community. We're also a Facebook marketing partner, which again doesn't necessarily mean much, but unless you have what they call an enterprise level rep at Facebook, this is the next best thing, and we have that. So we test we see new ad strategies all the time, but frankly, none of them are actually quote unquote new. They're more just repurposed, or they have just a little tweak here or something there. And we test these things all the time. And typically we try to test them in stages instead of all at once. And then once we find something that works, we want to verify that it works. And then we roll it out slowly. And this is just because we've been doing this so long. It's just part of it. Anytime you throw something new out there, it all sounds good, but often it doesn't work the way you think it's going to. So the pitfalls, the pitfalls of trying to through shiny ad syndrome is that testing something new takes time and money. There's no two ways about it. Okay, it's rarely plug and play, and often you have average or even worse results, and then that in turn sets you back from what you were doing before. Now, does it mean you shouldn't try other things? No, you absolutely should try other things, but it depends on where you are. And if you're not sure whether something's right for you or something, that's what we're here for. Please contact us, and we'll say, "Hey, yeah, this sounds like a great idea. Let's do it." Or no, let's not do it yet. Let's try to get this dialed in first, because that's the key to it. You want to get what you're doing dialed in first before you try to jump on something else with a promise, that may or may not work. Okay, that's it. Feel free to ask us any questions, and I'll see y'all next month.